preparations for the effective implementation of non-interest banking, with measures being developed to ensure strong supervision and sound governance. As a result, the Central Bank has inaugurated a 5-member Financial Advisory Council known as NIFA FSC to provide expert advice on the regulation and development of the alternative banking and finance model in Ghana.
Governor Dr. Johnson Isiama says the council will help ensure strong governance as non-interest finance expands while protecting consumers and financial stability.
NIFAC shall serve as the Bank of Ghana's advisory council on the governance of non-interest banking and finance, and is mandated to advise the Bank of Ghana on matters that are relating to the regulation and supervision of non-interest banking institutions in Ghana.
Bank of Ghana advisor on non-interest banking and finance, Professor John Gachi, says the council's selection was guided by expertise, local content, cross-border experience, and inclusiveness.
We didn't consider that you are Muslim or you are Christian. That was not the qualification. The qualification, as we put in the guideline, is that you have experience in non-interest banking, you have interest in non-interest banking, you have a background that is related to banking.
The 5-member council is chaired by Professor Bashir Aliyu Umar and includes experts from banking, finance, economics, and academia.
Now, the Bank of Ghana has identified an estimated $4.8 billion annual financing gap facing small and medium-sized enterprises. Speaking at the National ICT Week celebration, Second Deputy Governor Matilda Asante Asiedu urged financial institutions to make greater use of digital transaction data to improve access to credits.
Second Deputy Governor Matilda Asante Asiedu says SMEs are still struggling to access working capital despite the country's expanding digital payments ecosystem. She wants transaction histories to become a stronger basis for lending decisions.
I think the most persistent bottleneck is not technology, not at all. It is the financing gap facing the very SMEs our digital infrastructure was built to serve. Recent estimates place Ghana's SME financing gap at $4.8 billion annually. That's one of the most severe gaps on the continent, despite our comparatively sophisticated financial system that I just spoke to you all about.
The Second Deputy Governor is also pushing for open banking and stronger data sharing frameworks, arguing that digital finance must ultimately translate into more affordable and accessible credit for businesses.
That disconnect between transaction data and credit access, in my view, is the single largest unrealized opportunity in this room.
Ghana is actively targeting to sign 5 new petroleum exploration agreements spanning 2026 and 2027 to reverse a multi-year production slump. According to the Petroleum Commission, this is key to securing Ghana's place as an oil producer and participation in the global upstream space.
Ghana commenced commercial oil production at the Jubilee fields in December 2010, transitioning Ghana into a notable petroleum producing nation. Ghana produced an average of about 102,199 barrels of crude oil per day across its major fields, Jubilee, 10, and Sankofa Ginyame over the course of 2025. This follows a continuing multi-year decline from earlier production highs near 170,000 to 180,000 barrels per day. But CEO of the Petroleum Commission, MF Hardcastle, says the Commission is engaging new partners for exploration.
The Commission, as part of our mandate to promote investment, has attracted interest of reputable E&P companies who are currently lined up to sign petroleum agreements in the coming months once our proposed legislation and fiscal reforms receive parliamentary approval. It is anticipated, and with the support of our minister, that at least 5 new petroleum agreements will be signed between this year and next year. We are particularly excited to also announce that the frontier offshore Akwa Basin will now be occupied for exploration by some major oil companies.
Speaking at the launch of the 15th year commemoration of the Commission, Minister for Energy and Green Transition, Dr. John Abdullahi Jinapor, charged the Commission to secure Ghana's position on the global oil production market.
We'll be pragmatic and we'll be guided by our national circumstances. We will not abandon resources that can support our development. Neither would we ignore the fundamental changes taking place in the global energy landscape. We will therefore maximize our petroleum resources whilst promoting renewable energy to complement that. And our main vision is what we call the gas to power era,
with year-long activities including a public lecture.
The cedi is showing renewed strength against the dollar, with its year-to-date depreciation narrowing significantly to 4.09% from 10.4% at the end of July 2026. Market data indicate that the currency continued its positive run between August 10 and 11, supported by stronger foreign exchange market interventions and support from the Bank of Ghana. Inflows from the extractive sector, offshore investment demand for local bonds, and easing dollar demand have also contributed to the recent gains. Market expectations suggest that the cedi's improved performance could continue in the coming weeks, supported by the Bank of Ghana's foreign exchange management framework. The latest recovery marks a sharp turnaround from the heavy pressure on the currency during the first half of the year. With that said, we'll now take a look at how the cedi is faring against major trading currencies and how some of key commodities are also faring on the global markets.
On the interbank foreign exchange market, where banks trade amongst themselves, the dollar is selling at 11 cedis, 5 pesos. It gained 5 pesos. The British pound is selling at 14 cedis, 96 pesos. It gained 4 pesos. The euro is selling at 12 cedis, 72 pesos. It lost 3 pesos. However, be guided that these figures could be higher at a forex bureau near you. On the global commodities market, Brent crude is trading at $91 per barrel. Gold is trading at $4,354.26 per ounce, down by $61.73. Cocoa is trading at $5,919 per ton, down by $150.
What you just heard there was an update from the forex and commodity markets, ending the business news on Sunrise. For more business stories, please check out our website at 3news.com. My name is Christabel Success Trevor. Thanks for listening. The rest of the Sunrise team are on standby. Don't go away.